All right, court's on the record, Commerce City Municipal Court for the afternoon of August 12th, 2021. For the people that are on Zoom, please leave your devices on mute. I will ask you to unmute your device when I'm ready to call your case. For the people that are in the courtroom, when I call your case, I'll need you to come forward to one of the 3 stations. While you're at the station, I just need you to speak loudly and clearly. One of my responsibilities today is to make sure that everything that you say gets properly recorded. After you're done at the station, I'll direct you to see my clerks in the lobby. Their windows are located to the left once you've exited through the double doors at the rear of the courtroom. So when you're finished, you go out the double doors, make the left before you get to the metal detector, and that'll get you to my clerk's windows. Let's start with Max Mayorga. If you would come to station 1. All right. The city attorney is satisfied that Max completed the requirements. He's agreeing to have the case dismissed. He's just asking that you email in the proof of the community service when you get a chance. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk, they'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. Because of your age, I'm going to go ahead and expunge this from your record. So the record is like it's being sealed. You don't need to do anything to do that. I'll take care of it when the statutory time period approves it. So all I need you to do is go to the windows, see my clerk. They'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. Get the email address from them so you know where to send in that proof of community service, and you're done. Do you have any questions? Max, do you have any questions? Okay, I hope you learned from this experience. I don't want to see you back in front of me again, okay? All right, go to the window, see my clerk. Angel Rodriguez, if you would come to station number 2. Good afternoon. Okay, we showed that the class is done, and evidently you need more time for Angel to complete the 8 hours of community service. Is that correct? All right, we're going to reset this for a new court date. I'll make a note today that the class is done. He still owes 8 hours of community service. When you go to the windows, they'll give you the notice of the new court date as well as another community service form. Again, find any legitimate nonprofit agency that's convenient to you, get the work done, have the paperwork filled out, and bring that back with you on the next court date. Any questions? Okay, go ahead and go to the window, see my clerk. Sean Salazar, if you would come to station 3, please. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, that's a 2-point violation. The city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from July 5th of 2021 at about 2:20 in the afternoon in the area of 81st and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? You're giving up your right to have a trial, your right to be represented, your right to appeal, all of those rights that I advised you of, you're giving them up. Do you understand that? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on July 5th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? All right. Your driving record shows a ticket from June of last year in Arvada and another one in October of last year in Arvada. Are those correct? Did the Arvada judge send you to a driving class for either one of those? Okay. Technically, I'm not going to send you on this one because you're an adult now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just warn you that if you pick up another ticket within a year of this one and it happens to be in Commerce City, in addition to any fine I impose, I will send you to a driving class, okay? But I'm not sending you on this one because this one isn't particularly aggravated. But, again, it's one of those things that you're a fairly new driver. When you get behind the wheel of a car, you really only have one goal, and that's to get to where you're going safely, not more quickly. The minute you start to hurry in your car, that's what exposes you to being a higher risk of getting into or causing an accident or getting pulled over and getting a ticket. And, literally in 1 year, you've been pulled over 3 times. If all 3 times you were in a hurry, you didn't get to where you were going on time anyway because you took the time to get the ticket. So just keep that in mind. And at your age, it's going to affect your insurance rates too. So the fine that I impose is minor compared to the increase in your insurance rates that you're going to get. So you really need to start thinking about the bigger picture, all right? And you don't want to have to pay for high-risk insurance until you're 25, starting at your age. All right, let me do the math. Technically, your schedule fine's $160. I'm going to lower it to $80 anyway. $80 plus surcharges plus court costs. I'm making a note to myself about warning you about the class. Just don't pick up another ticket within the year in Commerce City, okay? When you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they're going to tell you the total workout payment arrangements. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, they're both yours. All right. Charlene Lauderdale, if you would go ahead and unmute your device.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. I'm going to call case number 11093 first. So give me a second while I pull that one out. Okay, in this case, I have a document that alleges that on August 7th of 2021, at 8:18 in the morning approximately, in the area of 103rd and Yampa Street, that you engaged in careless driving resulting in an accident. Do you understand what you're accused of doing on this case?
Yes.
All right, city attorney says he wants an opportunity for everybody to review the discovery before plea negotiation can be entered into, if possible, or to set it for trial. Do you agree to set this case over for a pretrial conference?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I did.
All right. You're not giving up any rights today. We're just simply setting your case over, this one over for a pretrial conference. All right. On this case, my clerks will reach out to you, let you know the new court date and time, and information on getting the discovery on that case, the police reports and notes and stuff. So that'll conclude that case. Let me pull up your other case, which is case number 9625. All right, in this case, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, that's a 3-point violation. The city attorney will dismiss the original 6-point violation for speeding on August 6th of 2021 shortly after 9 o'clock in the morning in the area of 100th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Beg your pardon, sir. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. This is the second case. It says that if you plead guilty to a 3-point charge of improper lane use, the city attorney will dismiss the original 6-point speeding charge from August 6th of 2021. Is this how you wish to resolve this case?
Yes, sir.
And again, you watched the advisement of rights video. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this case, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation on August 6th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
Yes, sir. If you will indulge me, sir. That morning, I took some medication that was given to me by the Department of Veterans Affairs to help me have bowel movements. The medication is called sinusoids, and I have a real medical issue where I can't go to have a bowel movement on my own. I took my wife up to where we worship at our church over in Denver. I was on my way home. On Highway 2, there was no cars in front of me or behind me or to the side of me, and this medication kicked in, and so I sped up. I made a right-hand turn on 104th. After I traveled a few distance on 104th, I saw the officer behind me with the lights on. I pulled into a brand new subdivision where the roads had just been completed to protect the officer from getting hit while he was giving me a ticket. I complied with the officer's request of, the typical license, registration, insurance. Soon as the officer gave me the ticket and he walked back to his car, I had a major bowel movement. So that's the rationale as to why I was speeding in the first place.
Okay. All right. Your driving record shows a couple of tickets from 2020, but they're both a little bit beyond the aggravated time frame that I use, so they don't count against you. Your scheduled fine in this case is $160. I'm going to take what you've said into consideration. I'm going to reduce your fine to $80 plus surcharges plus court costs. And I've got to tell you, obviously, because of the physical distress you were in, you're what I classify as a distracted driver. In other words, you're worried about your physical distress, which puts you as a danger to other people on the roadway and to yourself on the roadway. And I obviously owe my duty to the people in the community to make sure that the roadways are safe. As soon as somebody is distracted like you are, and they're going more than 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, they constitute that higher risk. That's why I have to impose an aggravated fine at all in your case, okay?
Yes, sir.
So again, your fine's $80 plus surcharges and court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks will be in contact with you with regard to the setting of the pretrial in the other case. On this case, they'll tell you what the total is once all the costs and surcharges are added, and they'll give you an email explaining how to make the payment on that. If you need a payment plan, they'll provide you the opportunity to schedule a payment plan as well. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, well, go ahead and leave the meeting. Just keep an eye out for that email either later today or tomorrow, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh. Did you already clean? All right. Giovanni Vasquez, if you would come to station number 1, please. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, this is a 0-point offense, and attend the Alive at 25 class, the city attorney will dismiss the original stop sign violation charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Okay, are you his mother? Do you understand the original charge filed against your son? Do you understand the reduced charge that the city attorney is offering your son in an effort to resolve this case? Do you agree that your son is acting in his best interests by accepting this resolution of his case and pleading guilty to this reduced charge? Thank you. Okay, Giovanni, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, a 0-point violation on July 11th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? This looks like it's your first driving violation. Is that correct? All right. Use this as an educational opportunity then. Let me just double check a couple of things. All right. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to impose the scheduled fine. That's $80. I'm going to suspend the entire fine, all 80 of it, because I'm going to order that you do the Alive at 25 class. They're going to charge you somewhere between $60 and $80 for the class, and that's where I'd rather have you spend your money. When you go to the windows in the lobby, there's going to be $29 in court costs that you're going to be required to pay. It's court costs only. My clerks will give you a referral to the class and a deadline. The deadline's going to be in about 6 or 7 weeks, okay? You need to contact those people right away to get signed up for the class. That way you can get it done before the deadline. It's your responsibility to turn in the certificate of completion that they give you when you finish the class on or before the deadline. You can email it, regular mail it, drop it off. Just get it to us by then. Make 2 copies. One, give to your mom for your insurance. Send it to your insurance agent. Who knows, they might give you a discount because he's done driving class. Doesn't hurt to try. The other copy hold on to, because when you go to apply for your adult license, you might need to show DMV that you've done a driving class. Sometimes it helps, who knows. But it's always good to have one just in case. So original for the court, copy for your insurance, copy for DMV just in case. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you? Do you have any questions? Okay, and I don't know if you heard me telling the young man earlier, you're a new driver. You're already a higher risk for either getting into or causing an accident than a more experienced driver. Don't treat your car like a toy. Never play around in your car. Keep in mind that your car is designed to get you from point A to point B safely. That's it. Never be in a hurry in your car. If you're running late when you hop in, just accept the fact that you're going to arrive late. Don't try to make up for lost time in a car. Treating a car like a toy and being in a hurry in the car is the #1 reason younger people get into accidents or get tickets. So just keep that in mind for the future. Never be in a hurry when you're in the car. Use it to get you to where you're going safely. If you do that, you'll be fine. Take the lessons they teach you in the class, apply them to your driving. I'll never see you again. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? All right. Go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerk. Kenneth Jones, if you would come to station number 2, that's the lectern right in the middle. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, the city attorney will dismiss the original charge related to the red light on July 14th of 2021 at about 7 o'clock in the morning in the area of 69th and Highway 85. This is the case where the person ran into you from behind? No? Okay, there was another case that happened near that location on that light. Okay. What's that? Yeah, no, what happened is the person made a right turn on red, and you can't make a right turn on red from Highway 85 onto 69th, and after they made the right, traffic was stopped, they stopped, and the person came straight across and just ran right into the back end of them. They didn't expect that car to make the right on red, so it kind of took them by surprise. All right. And both cars were given a ticket. The one person for running into the back end of the car, the other person for making the right on red were prohibited. All right. In any event, you have an offer for a 0-point violation. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Okay. Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of the rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, a 0-point violation on July 14th of 2021. You're in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Yeah, Chevy Equinox is a lot smaller than a Freightliner. Okay. Well, again, no accident actually happened, so that's a helpful thing. You've got a good driving record. All right, your scheduled fine in this case is $80. I'm going to go ahead and reduce your fine based on this driving record to $30 plus surcharges and court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they will tell you the total. They'll work out payment arrangements for you. Go ahead. All right, Lena Holman, if you'd come to station 3. All right. It appears that we did your arraignment on April 29th of 2021 on this theft and trespass charge. Set your case for a pretrial conference, appointed an attorney to represent you. When you failed to appear, I issued, on May 27th of 2021, I issued a warrant for your arrest. The city attorney is willing to reset this matter for another pretrial conference. And did you wish to still have a court-appointed attorney represent you? Have your financial circumstances changed in any way since I reviewed your application back in April? All right. I'm going to go ahead and reappoint Mr. Zarlingo to represent you in this matter. We'll reset this matter for a pretrial conference. I'm going to vacate the warrant that was issued for your arrest. I am going to require that you sign a $300 personal recognizance bond to assure your appearance on the next court date, okay? So give me just a minute while I write all of this so that my clerk knows what to get started on here. Okay, so when's your next court date? Okay. What's that? Of August? Okay. Could you do me a favor? Just tap your microphone. Just tap it. That's on. Okay. You're just soft-spoken. All right, that's fine. You said the 25th? Okay. All right. At this point, there's a $25 warrant, or I'm sorry, $50 warrant fee that you may need to pay when the case concludes. I'm not going to order that you pay it today. We'll wait and see what happens after your pretrial. All right, so when you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks. They'll give you a PR bond to sign and notice of a reminder for the next court date and time. We'll notify Mr. Zarlengo. I'm sure he'll be in contact with you. If you have new contact information, leave that with my clerks up front as well so that they can provide that to Mr. Zarlengo. Okay? Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows, see my clerk. Okay. Juan Yanis, if you would unmute your device.
Thank you, sir.
Oops. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of speeding, oh, that can't be right. Yeah, it is. 50 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, a 6-point violation, and take the Alive at 25 class, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from July 11th of 2021, shortly before 5 o'clock in the evening, in the area of 7600 Perry Parkway, right behind the building that I'm here in the Civic Center here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
All right, you watch the advisement of rights video.
Yes.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added reduced charge of speeding 50 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, a 6-point violation on July 11th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with the full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
All right, you need to recognize that if you get another ticket within a year, your privilege to drive is going to be suspended for points. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's giving you a break by not taking your license based on this one.
Yeah.
Your driving record shows a ticket from August of 2020 in Denver. Is that entry correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me do the math. It's going to take me a minute here.
Okay.
All right, your scheduled fine in this case is $360. I'm going to impose the $360. I'm going to suspend 180 of it. I'm giving you a break as well.
Okay.
So I'm suspending 180 of it because I am going to order that you do the Live at 25 class. You can do it either virtually, online, or in person. I'll leave that up to you and to the schedulers. When you
Okay.
leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email. They're going to tell you, or they're going to give you information on the total amount of the fines and court costs. And if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for that. They'll
Okay.
also give you the referral to the people that put on the class. They'll give you a deadline. It's going to be in about 6 or 7 weeks. I know for a fact that those classes are filling up, so it's really important that you contact them right away. That way you can get the class scheduled and have it done before the deadline my clerks give you. When you finish the class, they're going to give you a certificate of completion. It's your responsibility to make sure that certificate of completion gets filed with my court by the deadline my clerks give you.
Okay.
Make 2 copies of it. One, send into your insurance agent, because with these tickets, I'm sure your rates are going to go up. They might give you a discount for doing a driving class. You never know, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay.
All right, the other copy you need to hold on to because, like I said, one more ticket, you're going to have to go down to DMV. It's good to have a copy of that proof of completion of the driving class if you end up having to go down to DMV to try to keep your license. So,
Mm-hmm.
original for the court, a copy for your insurance agent, and a copy for DMV just in case. Do you have
Okay.
any questions about what's expected of you?
No.
Okay, were you able to hear me talking to this other young man that was in court a little while ago about what your responsibilities and priorities should be when you're
Yes.
driving?
Yeah,
Same thing with you.
about how I need to get to point A to point B safely.
Right, not more
Yeah.
quickly.
No,
Don't
yeah.
ever be in a hurry. Okay, and there's nothing to justify how fast you were going on this occasion. Nothing
No,
to
yeah.
All right. So try to keep that in mind. Try to take the lessons they teach you in the class and apply them to your driving, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Keep an eye out for that email either today or tomorrow, all right?
Okay, appreciate it, man.
Uh-huh.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Marcus Bender, if you would unmute your device.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I apologize for being late.
Oh, that's all right. You're good. All right, let's see what we have here. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of engaging in careless driving, no, I'm sorry, that's the original charge. If you plead guilty to the reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, this is a 2-point violation. The city attorney will dismiss the careless charge from July 13th of 2021 at 7:33 in the morning in the area of the 6100 block of East 60th Avenue here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of the rights that you were advised of in that video?
Yes, I do.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? I didn't hear your answer.
No, Your Honor.
And are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on July 13th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes, I heard that. I'm looking at the accident report. So basically you ran into the back of a parked vehicle is what it looks like.
Yes, sir.
All right. You actually have a mitigated driving record. That means a good driving record. Your scheduled fine in this case is $240. Unfortunately, Mr. Bender, there's not an awful lot of wiggle room because of the collision itself. I'm going to reduce your fine to $200 plus surcharges and court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks will reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They'll tell you what the total is, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you.
All right, Jacob Lawrence, if you would unmute your device.
Yes, sir.
All right. First, I have a request to set aside the default that entered when you failed to appear yesterday.
Yes, sir. My apologies.
That's all right. I give an automatic 10-day grace period, and the city attorney has no objection. So I'm going to grant that request.
Thank you.
Okay, give me a second while I take care of that. I'm not going to ask what you're doing, but a lot of that sound is carrying.
I'm sorry. I'll keep my mic muted.
Well, nope, I'll need you to keep it on because I've got a bunch of questions to ask you. I have
Understood.
a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original failure to yield charge against you from July 14th of 2021 at about 7 o'clock at night in the area of 88th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that you were advised of in that video?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the added charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on July 14th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
All right, give me 1 second. I've reviewed the accident report. I need to check your driving record. Okay, there's something in aggravation there. So your schedule fine's $160. Again, because of the collision itself, I can only reduce your fine to $120 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They'll tell you what the total is. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
I understand.
Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead.